He can still run while indicted, and even if he's convicted, he can still run and be president.
If he was convicted, he couldn't vote for himself, but he could become the president because that's the way the system's set up. So, I guess I don't know what he's waiting for. I guess he's waiting for this
Perhaps the song
finish.
to end.
And, you know, my guess is he's not going to say particularly great things about the Biden administration and not say that this system has worked particularly fair for him. But let's listen in to what Donald Trump has to say on this historic night.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. It's a great honor to have you here. And today we witness the most evil and heinous abuse of power in the history of our country. Very sad thing to watch. A corrupt sitting president had his top political opponent arrested on fake and fabricated charges of which he and numerous other presidents would be guilty, right in the middle of a presidential election in which he is losing very badly. This is called election interference and yet another attempt to rig and steal a presidential election. More importantly, it's a political persecution like something straight out of a fascist or a communist nation. This day will go down in infamy, and Joe Biden will forever be remembered as not only the most corrupt president in the history of our country, but perhaps even more importantly, the president who, together with a band of his closest thugs, misfits, and Marxists, tried to destroy American democracy. But they will fail, and we will win bigger and better than ever before. Charging a former president of the United States under the Espionage Act of 1917 wasn't meant for this. An act for a crime so heinous that only the death penalty would do, and threatening me with 400 years in prison for possessing my own presidential papers, which just about every other president has done, is one of the most outrageous and vicious legal theories ever put forward in an American court of law. The Espionage Act has been used to go after traitors and spies. It has nothing to do with a former president legally keeping his own documents. As president, the law that applies to this case is not the Espionage Act, but very simply the Presidential Records Act, which is not even mentioned in this ridiculous 44-page indictment. Under the Presidential Records Act, which is civil, not criminal, I had every right to have these documents. The crucial legal precedent is laid out in the most important case ever on this subject, known as the Clinton Socks case. You know what that means? After leaving the White House, Bill Clinton kept 79 audio tapes in his sock drawer.
Who's putting out a theory about the Espionage Act. A few thoughts on that. One, according to most of the legal experts we've talked to, you don't actually need to prove espionage under the Espionage Act. The crime that he's charged with is not giving back documents after the federal government had requested the documents back. He's charged with keeping them in his possession and deceiving the government, even though the government says they're not his presidential records. They are classified documents that belong to the federal government. Joe Biden, Mike Pence, others, even Donald Trump, who had been told by the government in the past to give the documents back, when they did give the documents back under the Presidential Records Act, they were not charged with a crime. Donald Trump is not charged with crimes for the 197 documents he did give back. He's charged for crimes for the documents that he didn't give back. So that's sort of what's happening from a legal perspective on this. Obviously, Trump is trying to put a different spin on that, but that is not what at least most of the legal experts we've talked to, including conservative legal experts, have said about this case.
The president there putting the blame on President Biden and the Biden administration there, calling it political interference, election interference. and noting that it's a threat of 400 years in prison. We call that outrageous.